Now, let's talk about the similarities of the story of Romulus, Cyrus the Great, and Moses. About their being born, that's where the similarities are. And if you know the three individuals or personalities and their stories, you look at how similar their childhood is, and it's so interesting. And it leaves you wondering, did these things happen that way for each of them? Or there was this thing in the ancient world where this story was so interesting or so captivating that it served a certain function, and maybe whatever is said about the origin is not actually what happened, but for some reason it was told so that the people found it in some way interesting, or it made them more appealing to the population or to the populace. Now, I was reading histories by Herodotus, and it describes the birth of Cyrus the Great. Cyrus the Great happened to be one of, he became the founding father basically of the Media Persian Empire. And how he came to be is that his own grandfather used to be a king of the Medes. And then the grandfather dreamt that out of the daughter there was going to be a huge tree that will cover Asia and Europe. And he didn't want that. He went asking what that meant, and he was told that your daughter is going to give birth to a person who is going to be a great leader. And he didn't like that because he wanted the great leader to come from the sons, because that meant then that his own lineage went ahead. So he decided to send his daughter to get married to some small, maybe poor family in among the Persians, not the Medes, because he knew that the Medes were the people who were going to have the power always. So he sent the daughter to get married to the Persians. And the daughter gets married and she's pregnant. And then he has a similar dream. And then he decides, I don't want that baby to grow. And he brings the daughter back, and the daughter gives birth to a baby boy. And the king, Astyages was his name, Astyages calls one of his servants, and he tells them, I want this baby to be eliminated, basically. And the baby is taken, and as this person wants to eliminate it, he gives this baby to a shepherd. A shepherd takes this baby. Instead of going to kill the baby, the shepherd keeps the baby and brings up the baby as his own with the wife. And the baby, Cyrus, was later on, it was often said that Cyrus was breastfed by a female dog. I don't want to use the other name because that was what it was said, that he was breastfed by a female dog, and that's why he was powerful and whatever. Now, come to the story that Livy tells about Romulus. It's also similar. Romulus is born, and his brother, of course, they are born to a woman who is not wanted to give birth because their uncle who was then the king, did not want a lineage to come out of that woman that then could lay claim to the throne. But she becomes pregnant, she gives birth, and he decides he wants to eliminate the kids. And he has the kids. He calls one of the servants to go and kill the kids. The servants go put the kids in the River Tiber. They don't do a good job, and the kids survive. Now, later on, he comes to identify these kids to be those kids by doing his own calculation. And the same thing happened with Cyrus the Great. When Astyages saw the boy, he put one and one together and decided this could be the boy, and the boy didn't die. It's the same thing. Now, come to Moses. Moses is the same. The basic story is the same. He's born, and then he's taken to the river and put there to die, but he doesn't die. Somebody comes and picks the baby and takes the baby, and the baby is taken care of and becomes Moses. All these three individuals end up being the founding fathers of major, can call them civilization or dominions. Cyrus the Great founded the Persian Empire, which ruled much of Asia and Europe for very many years. Romulus founds Rome, which ruled Europe and part of Asia and Africa for many years as a great empire. Moses founded the Jewish state, which became very powerful and in fact very influential around the world. So reading this book reminds me of Cyrus the Great and also Moses, and their baby story is kind of interesting. Why is it so similar? And of course, you can throw Jesus in there. It's more or less close to that, and that leaves you wondering: is it a story that was being created because it was interesting to the populace and it has some effect, or the things happen this way and it's just a coincidence that they happen this way?